Alright, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero on the Bradmouse channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of an opposite to the last top 10 video I did on this game. And today we're going to be covering, in my opinion, I should emphasize, in my opinion, the top 10 most underrated characters in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Now, just a little disclaimer here. You could put any of these characters in any slot whatsoever. But this is just my personal top 10 for who I personally believe is very underrated and you guys should give a try when you next play Sparking Zero online. Or just in general. So let's first dive into our number 10 spot to kick off the video. And as always, if you're going to enjoy, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Coming in at number 10, we have Android 13, who I'd argue is probably the best Android character in the game. Rivaled with another Android character I will mention later on in the video. But for now, let's discuss 13. 13 has a projectile, pretty good. He has a pretty solid rush attack. His skills are pretty solid as well. Wild Sense does him a lot of favours. His ultimate is a little bit iffy because it's not a very fast ultimate, but it is what it is. But no, 13 is just very underrated, I feel. Like, you could do a lot with 13. He also can transform after he gets a certain amount of skill, which not only heals him, but I'm pretty sure it gives him full ki as well. You can make a leverage with that as well. Like, he's very, like, ambidextrous, is that the word? Like, he's very... You can use him in any situation, and he can work. Like, he's not, like, a really weak slog of a unit. And it's not like Super 13's bad either. Well, I'd argue, in my opinion, he's worse than Base 13, but that's just my preferences. He has a really slow projectile super. He has an explosive wave super, which is good for, you know, keeping pressure in autos, as among other things. His ultimate is a command grab, which is unblockable. You have to dodge it, otherwise you are just cooked. He has some very solid skills as well. Overall, I just think 13 is slept on, like hard slept on. I don't think people really realise just how potent of a character 13 can be in the right hands. And I even made a video about him in ranked, and he was a really fun unit to use. Unit, okay, it's not an Anagacha game. But yeah, 13 is a really fun character. Definitely recommend you try him out. Let's move on to the number 9 spot. And at number 9, we have a bit of a trend here. Zarbon. Zarbon is really fun. I love Zarbon. He's not that expensive. His moves are quite good. He has some really good skills. Like, he has an instant ultimate skill. He has a dodge skill. His ultimate is a projectile. I think the only thing that holds Zarbon back is his damage numbers. Like, that's really the only weakness I can think of for Zarbon. But otherwise, no, I think Zarbon is a very fun character to use. He has very fun supers. Combo strings aren't half bad either. And he gets arguably better when he transforms. Because when he transforms, I believe he gets his ki back, and I believe he heals slightly. And if you're not satisfied with Super Zarbon, you can always go back, which I really do enjoy, because it gives you the chance to experiment with different playstyles and stuff. But Super Zarbon is also really fun. He has a projectile, he has a rush attack, which is hilarious. His ultimate is also a command grab, which is really fun to watch. Like, I love seeing Zarbon just slap the crap out of his opponent. Like, it is hilarious. But overall, I just think Zarbon and Super Zarbon, respectively, have a really fun skill set that you should definitely give a try. Pulse Courage works for Super Zarbon, allows him to get ki. I'd say everything else is just but either way, Zarbon is a very fun experimental character where you're put into 2 different playstyles entirely, and honestly, yeah, it's just a really, really fun time when you throw him on a team. And it's not expensive either. So you can really just toss him onto any team. He can work, he can do his role. But yeah, there's Zarbon at number 9. Let's move on to our number 8 spot. And at number 8, my personal favourite in terms of characters, Raditz. I love Raditz. Raditz is hilarious. Raditz has a very, very unique moveset. He has a projectile super, he has a very, very fun rush attack. Like, it's really funny how they make Raditz out to be like a really intimidating force with that rush attack. Like, with the presentation and everything. Yet he's one of the weakest characters in Z. Or if not the weakest. So it's just really funny. And also his ultimate attack, they cooked with his ultimate. But also he has a free ultimate attack skill. I believe he also has explosive wave or Sonic Spirit. I can't really remember. I'm recording this a few days after I got the footage, so I apologize for that. But no, Raditz is, I'd honestly say if you had to compare him to anyone, he's like a worse Bardock. But that's not exactly a bad thing there, because both him and Bardock share pretty similar damage numbers, and overall I just feel like they're very similar in regards to what they can do. But I just think Bardock has, has a lot more to offer, especially with his Rebellion, Saiyan Rebellion thing, like the explosive wave that gives him high tension. I just think that has too much value that cannot be understated. Yeah, no, if you want a really fun alternative, bring Raditz. If you don't mind, you know, taking a little bit more damage than usual and doing a little bit less damage than normal, Raditz is a very fun unit that I guarantee you'll have a lot of entertaining moments with. And he's also really fun to watch, like his moves are really well orchestrated and animated. But yeah, Raditz at number 8. Let's move on to number 7 on today's list. And at number 7, we have Kid Goku. Kid Goku, specifically the Kid Goku from Dragon Ball Saga. Unfortunately, not Daima Goku. Unfortunately. No, Kid Goku is a really fun character. I see people say he's just a worst Master Roshi in regards to what he can do, but they're honestly pretty similar. I guess the only thing that stands him and Roshi apart is that Roshi has 2 unblockable moves, while Goku has 2 blockable moves. They both have a projectile. I think Goku's is slower though, maybe, because Roshi's is a cutscene, so you can watch these pretty quickly. But yeah, otherwise, I'd say these two are pretty similar in terms of Kid. But what makes Kid Goku stand out? Well, his combo strings are fun, the fact that he flies on the Nimbus is really cool, the fact that he hovers towards the floor slower because of his tail, like, you know, in the helicopter motion like in your games. I don't know, Kid Goku just has that charm about him that I find more enjoyable to face against than I would. The thing is with Master Roshi is that people bring his full power variant to give him more health at the start. That way, when they revert back to base Roshi's not capped by the 2 HP bar that he normally comes with. But going against Kid Goku, I feel like, I believe Kid Goku has 3 HP bars. If he doesn't, then editing Brad can humiliate me in the video, but Kid Goku I feel just is a lot more respectable if you're going for an after-image, like false courage type character. I do love his animations as well. Like, it's simple, but like, they're just really entertaining to look at. And overall, I just think Kid Goku's a lot more bearable to lose to, because Kid Goku, he's not exactly a very defensive character, so to speak. And his moves do require a lot of patience and time to land, especially if you're the combos and stuff, because all 3 of his super attacks are in fact blockable. So yeah, Kid Goku's a very fun and challenging unit at times. He has after image strike, which makes him incredibly strong in the right hands. False Courage also does him a lot of favours when it comes to charging ki and handling attacks. However, I think Kid Goku's incredibly strong. He's a little bit worse than Roshi though, since Roshi has the unblockable advantage and also the HP advantage at times. But if you're looking for a more fun alternative, Kid Goku's the character for you. And I don't believe Kid Goku's all that expensive in terms of DP cost. But yeah, give him a try sometime. I really do think he's a fun character. Now let's move on to our number 6 slot. And at number 6, probably a surprise contender, is Nail. Nail has a 4-power energy wave. He also has a explosive wave. And he has a really good set of skills. He has a free ultimate skill. And his ultimate attack is really clean. It's quick, it's to the point, and I wish it lasted a little bit longer, but like, it's cool. It's a really nice looking ultimate attack. And Nail is fundamentally quite similar to how Piccolo plays. I just think Nail overall is more enjoyable to play than Piccolo End. If you watch the channel, you know how I feel about Piccolo End. I really do think, in my personal opinion, Nail is heavily slept on. And I think it's because no one really... I don't want to be nasty, but I don't think Nail has fans, let's be honest here. No one watches Dragon Ball or reads Dragon Ball and goes, oh, I remember Nail. Nail was so cool. Like, no, let's be realistic here. But no, Nail has a really fun moveset. I guarantee you that he's probably a little on the same level as Piccolo early. I'd argue a little bit better, but that's another debate in itself. And overall, I just feel like Nail is slept on quite heavily for someone who was really well respected in Raging Blast 2 and Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Like, he had a really good moveset in that game. But yeah, Nail is here. I do think people are sleeping on him a little bit too much, and I really hope we get to see some videos of people trying him out, maybe to see how good he's in ranked and stuff. I just wish more people realised how fun and potent Nail can be in your hands. But yeah, that's Nail at the number 6 slot. Now let's move on to, in my opinion, the top 5 most underrated characters in Sparking Zero. Coming in at number 5, starting out the top 5, is Gotenks, all 3 forms of Gotenks. Gotenks is a very, very slept on fusion character. I mostly see Kefla, Vegeta, and Goku in regards to fusions. I also do see quite a few Zamasu, since Zamasu is incredibly strong, let's not get that twisted. But I never see anyone actually use Gotenks. Gotenks is hard slept on. I never see anyone willingly pick Gotenks as a fusion character. And it's a shame, because although his kit is bare bones, he does have a very fun and gimmicky moveset. Like a bunch of debuffs in exchange for false courage. Although it's not mechanically the best decision ever, it's just fun. Like there's no detriment in regards to how much fun you can have with Gotenks' moveset, because there's a lot of flair to it, a lot of pizzazz. Like there's just a lot of good things going on for him in terms of presentation. I think the only thing that does suck about Gotenks though is when you transform into Super Gotenks and his Ghost Kamikaze attack is just a really underwhelming projectile, and half the time it doesn't even connect. But overall, I do think Gotenks as a whole is just very strong. Like if you're looking for a fun fusion character to try out, base Gotenks is right there, and you can snowball all the way up to Super Saiyan 3, where Gotenks is actually incredibly strong. His damage numbers really ramp up, and his moves aren't half bad either. Although it does suck that the spiky boo boo volleyball attack is a rush attack now. I do understand why that decision was made, but I do miss when it was a projectile based attack, like it was in the Raging Blast series. But still, Gotenks is a very fun character. I highly recommend you give him a shot instead of, Gogeta, Vegito, Kefla, all the other fusions. Just try this fusion out. I guarantee you can't go wrong. Yeah, Gotenks at number 5. Let's move on to number 4. Now, coming in at number 4 is Kale. Specifically, all 3 forms of Kale. Now, a lot of people sleep on Kale because not many people really like the Universe 6 Saiyans outside of, the people who search up porn of her. Anyway, Kale is a very interesting character. You have like 2 branches you can go with when it comes to Kale. In base form, she's kind of spammy. She has a projectile, a volley blast attack, and also a projectile ultimate attack. Like, a base form Kale is nothing really to write home about. She has a solid kit in itself, but yeah, she's not half bad. Like, she has a free ultimate, she has a dodge. Like, you can't go wrong with base Kale. She's not horrible. But then you get onto her 2 transformations, which is her Berserk form and Super Saiyan / Super Saiyan 2. Now, I'll cover Berserk Kale first because Berserk Kale is incredibly underrated. I don't see anyone talk about Berserk Kale. Mostly because people would rather use Broly, which I understand because Broly's insane as well. But I do believe Berserk Kale is also just incredibly oppressive and just strong. She has a really good projectile attack. She has a free ultimate, she has an evasive, she has a rush attack. And her ultimate, I believe, is unblockable. It's an unblockable explosive one, which is incredibly impressive. Especially for a character like Kale, who not only has a decent amount of super armor, but also is just very impressive when it comes to damage. And Super Saiyan Super Saiyan Kale is also in the same boat, where she goes from base style to spammy to kind of the same deal in Super Saiyan Kale as well. Like, nothing really changes except for the ultimate attack. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant to really cover Super Saiyan Kale, because nothing really changes. Berserk Kale is where it really kicks off though, and I really think people are sleeping on Kale a little bit too much, especially for what she brings to the table. Yeah, I'm happy putting Kale at the number 4 slot. Now let's move on to the top 3 most underrated characters, in my opinion. And kicking off the number 3 slot is Frost. Probably a surprise entry, because I bet you half of you don't even know Frost is in the game. But yeah, Frost is honestly just Frieza. Like, there's no joke here. He's just Frieza. Like, Final Form Frieza, this is just him. Like, I know the joke is, you know, Frost is a twin alternative to Frieza. But like, he really is just Frieza. He has a free ultimate skill. Like, he has Explosive Wave, he has a cheap Death Beam, he has a Rush Attack, which I really am disappointed about. I wish the Poison actually did something instead of just, you know, cinematic purposes. Like, how cool would it have been if the Poison gave the opponent a debuff for like 8 seconds, like all stats lowered for 8 seconds? Like, that would have been cool. It would have been like in the show, like how Piccolo struggled to stay on his toes with the Poison, and Frost used that advantage to overwhelm him. I think that would have been really cool, but it is what it is. I'm not asking for Frost and more characters. And his ultimate attack's just a generic death roll. Like, Frost overall is just not much to write home about. If you've seen Frieza, you've seen Frost, pretty much. But I do think people are sleeping on him a little bit too harshly. Frost can be a good addition to the team. He has a lot of benefits, but I think, again, like Kale, people would rather use the original versions of the characters like Frieza and Cooler and stuff. Hell, even King Cold. I saw a lot of King Cold defenders on my top 10 worst list, which I'm very surprised about. But yeah, if you've seen Frost, you've seen Frieza, and vice versa. Frost is going to kick off the top 3 in the number 3 slot. Let's move on to number 2. And kicking off the number 2 slot is Dyspo from Universe 11. I loved it. I'm not really certain this guy is cracked up to be meta viable or anything. He's kind of just there. He has 2 stat boost moves that don't really do much for him except for editing red here. Dyspo actually has a free ultimate skill. So yeah, I was a dumbass here. Ignore me, move on. Maybe the movement speed might be good, but I don't think I think it lasts like 8 seconds. It does not last long at all. I just think if they extended it, maybe it might be better, but like otherwise, it's not good. But Dyspo is kind of straightforward. He has a projectile, he has a rush attack, and he has a projectile ultimate. I do think his speedy combos and his overall high movement speed can net him a good advantage against most of his opponents. But otherwise, I just don't see people really running Dyspo all that often. And I think the reason for that is because I'd rather use Berta, because Berta is cheaper, and I'd argue a little bit better, because Berta has a free ultimate. But yeah, Dyspo's at number 2 because I just don't see anyone talk about Dyspo. No one cares about Dyspo. But if you care about Dyspo, let me know in the comments, and you know, if you've gotten major win streaks or anything. I am curious to see if there's any Dyspo fans out there. But otherwise, Dyspo's at number 2. Let's move on to our number 1 most underrated character, in my opinion. And for number 1 most underrated character in Sparking Zero, in my opinion, is Android 8. I think Android 18 is hard slept on, dude. Insanely slept on. Not only is 18 completely immune to any of the bullcrap that 19 drew opposed to her, you can naturally generate ki, has reduced ki when using ability skills. Both of her supers are incredibly cheap, like in terms of ki. He does a decent amount of damage. He has a free ultimate attack, skill. 18 overall is just incredibly crap. Like, I don't know what they were smoking to make 18 as good as she is, but she is nuts. She's actually really, really good, and I'm astonished no one has seen how powerful 18 can be. However, as of recording this video, which is the 10th of December 2024, I've seen in the competition they were doing for Sparking Zero, a lot of people were using Android 18 on Med, which is hilarious because now people have realised just how strong 18 can really be. So I guess the comp scene really viewed 18 and saw how good she could be. I was like, yeah, put her on there because she's really strong. I think. And if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I personally think 18's the most underrated character. She's insanely good. Her cost is not high at all. She has a lot of benefit to the team, and she's overall incredibly strong. Much stronger than 16 and 7. Yeah, you guys can let me know your personal picks for the most underrated characters in Sparking Zero. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next Dragon Ball Sparking video. Peace out, and goodbye.